Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about contrast. So this is just some Bristol board I've got taped off, and this time when I remove the tape, you're going to see a nice border. This is going to accentuate the idea of what we talked about last time. By taping off your paper, you can create this nice border. Well, this is really going to show that. And what this is, I just took some spray paint, just some black primer. You can do this with acrylic paint and just brush it on. You can do this with an airbrush. You can do this, whatever. It doesn't matter. And really, the only thing that I did here was, instead of just buying toned paper, I knew that I was going to have a really bright spot right here. So instead of working my chalk into this area, which you could do, instead of working my chalk into this area, I wanted to have a starting spot. So this is all going to be dark, and then we're going to have the brighter spot here and up in here too. I mean, it's all going to be up in here, but contrast. The light that I'm going to put here against the dark is what's really going to set this stuff apart. So we're going to be using, and a lot of this stuff I put in the link, in the description to a link where you can pick up some of this material if you don't already have it. Chalk is what's going to get us there, and this white charcoal pencil is going to get us there. And of course, down here we'll use either this is willow charcoal, or you can use vine or whatever charcoal you've got. And I've got a regular charcoal pencil here too that we can use. Again, as far as other tools to use, this is a smudge stick. Use it primarily with graphite. You've got a fan brush, which is nice for the little blendings and brush strokes and different things like that. And this is a sanding board. So you can use this for various things. Last time you saw I used it to create a background just by grinding some or sanding some charcoal on here to make a mound, and then I just threw it on the board, and wherever it landed, and it turned out pretty cool. You can check that out as my previous video. We drew some cherries, and that was pretty cool, a nice little project. We do crazy things like that on this channel. I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Kendall Stump, and welcome to the Stump Project. Okay, so we're going to start with this, and we're going to think about our. I'll put the image that we're going to be working with up here in the corner, and so just like any other thing, you kind of want to plan out what it is that you're going to be drawing and how everything is going to fall. We can make this smaller and have a big black background. So if you're in graphic design and you wanted to lay this out, it's really cool. So you can have the image down here. If you imagine you divide your canvas up into thirds, here and here, then you could maybe focus around the lower third to put your subject down here. You can have all of this space up here that you could put whatever text that you wanted to be a nice black background, and it'd be easily read. But and the reason why it'd be easily read is because it's very dark. So you would put light text on dark. Again, contrast. Those things that separate each other from each other. But we're not doing that today. But we do want to keep in mind the rule of thirds, right? I'm a fan of that. I don't get into the golden mean too much. Keep it simple, keep it quick and fast. So we'll divide this up here, and we're going to start with a sketch. So I'm using my white charcoal pencil on this dark background, and I'm starting with a circle. And we're going to be drawing this sheep, and then I'm not going to try to make this a photographic exact duplicate copy. It's going to be my sheep. So there we go. Why did I decide to put this here? Is because this is my top third. The eyes are probably going to fall. I'm going to aim to fall right on that horizon line there, and then this is the lower third here. So I'm focusing on the top, and then if we imagine one of the eyes would be here, and when the eyes would be here. So that's actually probably a little bit under the third, but I think it's close enough. It's going to be, if you divide it out vertically, it's going to be like really close to those points of interest right there and there. So I think we can get away with it on this one. And what I'm doing is I'm just trying to capture just some of the shape of this sheep, right? So we know if we have the eye here and one there, and then just use landmark points. So we know if we go from the corner of the eye in, is about here is where like the snout may start. We know that a little bit straight down and over here is where the curvature of the snout kind of goes. So which means that our line is going to look something like that. And then we have to think, okay, well, how far down is this going to go? And it looks to be almost same length right here, so it'll be somewhere right around in here. So we use the objects that we're drawing as units of measurement, right? So I was measuring from this point to here, and I know that from this point down is roughly the same. And I'm just filling this in this lightly right now, just kind of just sketching it in. We can adjust this as we go along. We'll be doing some shading, we'll be doing some just redefining edges. But you can see how using this white charcoal pencil allows me to see, and that's because of the contrast. That's the white on the black. Based on that, I'm going to raise that eye just a little bit. We're going to end up bringing it up there, I think. Is capturing the shape of the head. Nothing fancy. And I am taking some liberties to shorten for balance and composition. So, okay, so that ear is going to look a little bit wonky if we have it coming straight out. So we need it a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is we'll just play with it a little bit. We'll do that one there. Let's do the same thing on this one. There, that makes that a little bit more balanced there. now I'm going to, at a certain point you would start blocking in shadow. Well, since we're working on black, we're going to start blocking in some highlights. A little bit right there, and then we'll be able to start smudging here in a minute. Put some of the highlights on the back. And then on this side. You can see how nice this blends and smudges. Now notice that pencil mark right there, this right here, or right here. That's a charcoal pencil. Remember I said before, this doesn't blend nearly as nice as chalk does. Chalk has got more of the charcoal properties. So if you have a cleaner finger, you can remove. So you'll see me kind of do this, and I'm wiping off my finger, maybe picking up some oil off of the palm of my hand, and that will just allow that to help me pick up what I want to get rid of. If you continue to use a dirty finger, you can get some nice smudging and blending. Without being so clean about it, more like that perhaps. See, now I've got a clean finger here. See how that just wipes that away? You need to get rid of some of this white that I put on here, and I put the charcoal right on top of it, and it'll help hide that. And it could, because that charcoal pencil doesn't want to work with us too well, so we can clean that up. We can clean this area up here, just a little charcoal, a little rubbing and blending. Like that. What we can also do is put a foundation in. Okay, so I put some charcoal down there in the base of the cheeks, and then I can come in with my chalk and lay down a little bit of white. Right now, I can blend those two things together. Get a really nice transition. between the two. And remember, when you're working with some of these things and you're looking at shadows and highlights, you're ultimately working with shapes. So just keep that in mind as you just pick out the shapes and put it in, and it will work. You can also do that in reverse. So say, let's look at this area right here. We'll do that. Let's smudge this a little bit, kind of smooth that out. And then we can add some charcoal to the top of this. And as we add it, it's not going to go on black, black, black like you could expect it to happen. So you get a nice gray, so you can control the intensity of your charcoal. Even if I push a little bit harder right here, as I get up to this shadow area, it doesn't go black, black, black for me. It can still stays gray. There. Then you can just continue to do this as much as you want. You're just working in value. That's really what charcoal is about. You're just working in value. Adding the white, bringing in the black. And also, I would recommend don't work in just one area of your picture at a time. Just bounce all over. And if you notice in the image, there are all kinds of little fuzzies kind of bouncing up all over the place. That's what I find this pencil is good for. It's good for capturing this fine detail. And remember how he said that it's harder to blend out, but it becomes a benefit because you got charcoal on your finger and you want to go and you hit some of those pencil marks that are there, and instead of just smudging them out to nothingness, it just makes them darker. So you still have that dark pencil mark, but it just works a lot better to. It would almost like using a gray charcoal pencil to come in there and draw those instead of the white one. Just putting some more texture in here, just more hairs and stuff. And again, I'm just darkening up the fur as I need it. We can add some gray. See how I did that? It's just added the black to the gray, and then I can smear it, or the black to the white, and then I can just smear it just to get a nice gray color. Just blend that in. Now, again, with contrast, I know that this guy's snout is dark. So I'm going to put that right up against this white area right here, contrast. So plan out your illustrations like this. Try to put the and there you have it, we're done. No, I'm kidding. In actuality, my camera stopped recording and I was unaware, and I went through the rest of the process. I'm sorry, I wish I could have shown you some of that stuff, but anyway, what I showed you, it just hit the highlights on what it is that you do, and you just build on layers, and you add dark, you add light, you add dark, you add light, and you just keep going, and you smudge and you smear, and the darker you want it, the more you leave it alone. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and also this is, you see the good example of, I removed the tape so you can see the nice finished border that you have. Some of the spray paint got underneath it, right up here and right down here when I did that. So you want to make sure that your paint edges are down securely when you do that, and you'll have better luck. But for the most part, that can be touched up with a little bit of white acrylic or gesso, and just go over top of that, and you should be good to go. Now I'm just going to finish this with a few coats of fixative just to seal it, make sure that everything's all good to go. And I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, or you want to see something new or something more, feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to get that for you. One more thing, I wanted to bring to your attention, when you use fixative or hairspray, or when you're sealing chalk, I'm not sure if you can see this, it starts to, I don't know, eat it away, or the chalk absorbs the liquid, and so I've had to go in and I had to put more chalk on top of it. Now what was going to happen, you kind of see how kind of dotted that is right there. That's from the additive being added to the surface of this. So what I'm going to try to do is, this is white pastel. I'm going to try this instead. I have not used this yet, and that's why I'm doing these videos. I'm learning myself, and I'm bringing this stuff to you so that you guys can experience it too. Again, like I said before, I like the chalk and how it deals with or interacts with the charcoal. It blends very smooth. So let's see. I'm going to try some experiments, and I'll bring you the results later on. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry I didn't show you this process. I wanted to try it first before I told you anything, and just to see how it works. So this is the white pastel, and all the bright white spots on here as I put on with the white pastel, and it blends beautifully with charcoal, and I sprayed it after the fact, and you can see that it did not get eaten up by the moisture, by the liquid, like the chalk did. And you can see what I'm talking about, like down here. You see how kind of grainy that looks? That was done with, that's what happened when I sprayed added the fixative on the chalk, and it diffused it like that. Whereas the white pastel, it did not do that. So I'm going to recommend that from now on. I'm going to invest in some, I think it's relatively cheap, or some Conte de Paris white drawing crayon. I may try that as well, and when I get that, I'll put we'll talk about it, and I'll do a little review on it, and let you know what I think, and post a link in my description if I like it. I think it'll work well. So, that's a little bit of news for you. I hope you guys got something out of this, and I will see you next time.